come a long way. My name is Keem Rahim. I do graffiti art. And so I use spray paint techniques on canvas. My inspiration was really just like hip hop urban culture. Graffiti art was initially vandalism. No one wanted to see it. It made things kind of ugly. I think that kind of changed pretty slowly, but I think it probably might have been 2010 or 11 when I really noticed a shift.
I'm Amos Goldbaum, and I'm an artist and a muralist in San Francisco. I definitely see a shift in attention on public art and murals, and I think in San Francisco has always been kind of a hub for that. In the 90s, Precita Eyes kind of spearheaded the Mission Mural movement, and there's been mural tours in Balmy Alley and Clarion Alley for decades at this point.
Branding in the 90s, if you think about like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and the logo that comes with that show, that's graffiti art. If you think about the MTV logo, that's graffiti art. That kind of font, that kind of style kind of got embraced. And then when businesses started to realize that with a little more time, effort, graffiti artists could be muralists.
By the 1990s, San Francisco's walls had already become iconic. Shoe companies, record labels, and networks like MTV began hiring local muralists and street artists as a way to connect to the urban cultural movement of the age. For some artists, it was an opportunity to get paid doing what they loved. But for others, it felt strange watching art that came from resistance and community start getting used to sell products.
Public art and street art was booming at the time that I arrived, but as of late, I feel like there's kind of a dichotomy of people who are painting for their own purposes, who want to beautify the community in their own ways, and then there's also people who are funding these projects. Either they have like a legal obligation, or politicians or billionaires that are putting funding into arts for their own purposes. So right now I think there's a lot of eyes on public art for a lot of different reasons.
It definitely used to be more of a DIY thing, where you could just go put something on a wall, not necessarily with permission. And now that still happens, obviously, but there's also a lot of businesses who want murals, and real estate developers who want murals so they can sell condos for more money. And so it has become more commercialized.
For any artist, you are spending tons and tons of time, personal funds, to get your materials if you're doing this with no funder. My favorite way to do it is like through public arts organizations.
My name is Emmanuel David Blackwell III. I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I am a two-time San Francisco Arts Commission grantee. The SF Arts Commission is an organization and institution that has been around in San Francisco for quite some time, and they generally fund and support artists of all kinds.
The SF Arts Commission recently awarded $10.4 million in grants to 151 local artists and cultural organizations, with up to $100,000 available per project. The arts sector supports nearly 40,000 jobs citywide, and nearly 60% of arts attendees come from outside San Francisco, drawn in by the city's iconic public art.
The San Francisco Arts Commission is preparing for next year's Art on Market Street poster series. The project offers $12,000 to commission artists to design posters that help beautify and breathe life into a part of San Francisco that's had its fair share of troubles over the last few years.
One of the available options that politicians like the mayor have to change a space or change the perception of a space is art. Sometimes that can be really helpful when funds are allocated for arts, but also it's really hard to access for people who aren't good at applications, or even if you take the time to fill out 10 applications and you get none of them, it's really a tough field.
It's unfortunate that with the technological advancements, living so close to like the epicenter of where all of that originates at almost makes it impossible for there to not be some kind of private funding.
When the wheels of big business start to embrace artists in like a public art way, the public art gets elevated. I think businesses funding mural art, public art, that helps artists get an outlet to reach the public. San Francisco has a very funky, cool history to it, right? Hippie Hill is where the Summer of Love happened and where the flower power thing kind of happened, and all of that aesthetic, all of that floral, decorative, hippie energy, it made San Francisco a different kind of environment than other large urban centers. San Francisco is a little more laid back, and the art seems to be a little bit at the forefront. It's hard to even express that culture without using public art. And when you're in the Castro, you know you're in Castro. And when you're in the Haight, you know you're in the Haight.
I think art is a very important part of community, obviously, as an artist. And I think it is kind of like the soul of a city. And it's sad when a city can't support artists or it just becomes too expensive for artists to live here.
Supporting artists contributes to the culture of San Francisco by allowing there to be an ecosystem for artists to survive and exist. Without that type of support, it would be much more challenging for there to even be a community of artists within the city.
Murals and public art are ending in a lot of major cities. But San Francisco is unique because not only did San Francisco embrace public art really early, but I think that it helps to create a unique identity. Public art in San Francisco is one of the staples of the cultural experience. You're going to see public art and you're going to see it in each section of the city. I'd say it's a strong pillar of San Francisco's identity.